Have you ever been talking to your dog, and suddenly they tilt their head to the side, looking at you with those wide, curious eyes? It's one of the most adorable things dogs do. People all over the world melt when they see it. In fact, there are millions of videos online of dogs tilting their heads while owners laugh or swoon. But here's the surprising part. It's not just cuteness. That head tilt has meaning. And the truth behind it is more shocking than most people realize. Scientists, trainers, and behaviorists have studied this exact question. Why do dogs tilt their heads? The answers reveal not only how dogs understand us, but also how deeply connected they are to our emotions and voices. And once you know the real reasons, you'll never look at a head tilt the same way again. Stay with me until the end, because the most shocking truth of all is also the most heartwarming. Head tilting and hearing. One of the first explanations is practical. Dogs tilt their heads to hear us better. Unlike humans, whose ears are on the side of our heads, dogs' ears come in many shapes and sizes: floppy, upright, long, short. Sometimes, those ears actually block sound. Tilting their head changes the angle, helping them pick up words more clearly. It's like when we lean closer to hear someone whisper. So, when you're talking to your dog and they tilt their head, they might be literally tuning in to understand you better. But it's not just about hearing words. Dogs also pay attention to tone, rhythm, and pitch. They can distinguish excitement from anger, calm from fear. A head tilt may mean they're focusing on your voice, trying to match sound with meaning. Head tilting and vision. Another theory has to do with vision. Dogs have long muzzles that sometimes block part of their view. Tilting the head can help them see your face more clearly. Studies suggest that dogs who tilt often are better at recognizing human expressions. They want to see your smile, your frown, your raised eyebrows. They're not just listening to your words, they're watching your face, and tilting helps them read you more accurately. Head tilting and curiosity. But here's where it gets fascinating. Head tilting isn't just mechanical, it's emotional. Many trainers believe dogs tilt their heads when they're curious or trying to understand. It's their way of saying, "I'm listening. I'm trying to figure you out." Think about how often head tilts happen when you say something exciting like, "Want to go for a walk?" Or, "Where's your toy?" They're not confused. They're engaged. That tilt is a sign of active interest. Head tilting and empathy dogs are masters of empathy. They sense our moods, read our emotions, and often respond in ways that comfort us. Researchers have found that dogs tilt their heads more often when owners use a warm, affectionate tone. In other words, the tilt may be their way of showing connection. They're saying, "I hear you, I see you, I care." That's why a head tilt feels so personal. It's an expression of bond. The shock factor. Dogs who tilt are smarter. Here's the part that surprises most people. A recent study found that dogs who tilt their heads often may actually be more intelligent than those who don't. In experiments where dogs were asked to fetch specific toys by name, the dogs who tilted their heads were far more successful. Scientists believe the tilt may signal extra focus, like the dog's brain is switching gears, working hard to connect a word with an object. In other words, head tilters may be showing us their problem-solving in action. That cute little tilt might actually be a sign of canine genius. Real stories of head tilting. Let's bring this to life with a story. Lucy, a border collie, became famous online for tilting her head every time her owner asked about her toys. "Where's the ball?" Tilt. "Where's the rope?" Tilt. It turned out Lucy could recognize over 50 words for different objects. Her head tilts weren't random. They were her way of focusing, connecting language with meaning. Or take Max, a golden retriever who tilted his head whenever his owner sang. At first, everyone thought it was just funny, but then they noticed Max tilted more when his owner was sad. He wasn't responding to the music, he was responding to emotion. The tilt was his way of saying, "I'm here, I understand." Head tilting and health concerns. Now, not every head tilt is harmless. Sometimes, frequent or exaggerated tilting can be a sign of medical problems like ear infections, vestibular disease, or neurological issues. If your dog tilts constantly, especially when not being spoken to, it's worth a vet visit. This is why it's important to know the difference between playful tilts and medical ones. The most shocking truth. And now, the part that touches the heart. Scientists believe head tilting is also linked to bonding. When your dog tilts their head at you, they're not just processing sound or sight. They're showing trust. They're opening themselves up, giving you their full attention, signaling that you are the most important thing in their world right now. Think about that. Your dog could be distracted by hundreds of smells, noises, or sights. Yet in that moment, they tilt their head, lock their eyes on you, and say without words, "You matter most." That's why head tilts feel so special. They're not random. They're love made visible. So the next time your dog tilts their head, don't just laugh or snap a picture. Remember what it means. It means they're listening more closely than you think. It means they're curious about your words and your feelings. It may even mean they're showing intelligence and empathy beyond what science can fully explain. And most of all, it means this. When your dog tilts their head at you, they're giving you a moment of pure connection. A moment that says, "I see you. I hear you. I trust you. I love you." We may never fully know everything a dog thinks when they tilt their head. But we know this. It's never meaningless. Every tilt is a reminder that our dogs are listening, learning, and loving us in ways deeper than words. So look back when they tilt. Smile. Speak gently. Because in that moment, you're not just a human. You're their whole world. And that's the shocking truth about why dogs tilt their heads.